Hello and welcome to Chicken Bros. It's been a while. I'm David Heath.
Well, relax.
Huh. What scene was that supposed to reference?
Uh, Abomination said something like that when he transformed. People were he's like, relax.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah. My bad. I was blanking on that one. Yeah. We just the finale was a couple days ago. We in succession watched all of She-Hulk: Attorney at Law, which was okay.
I mean, honestly, personally, nothing will ever be as good as Falcon and Winter Soldier. Like that was like the bar, high bar, and
As far as Marvel
just,
shows on Disney Plus.
yeah.
Yeah.
And this wasn't terrible, but
No, it's definitely not as bad as those sexist redditors were making it out to be.
oh gosh, no.
But if you're looking for a lighthearted comedic lawyer show, this is where this is where you would go. Not to mention your lawyer's a Hulk and breaks the fourth wall a lot.
Which I didn't even know she did until I started watching this show, because I'd never read a She-Hulk comic. The only She-Hulk experience I've ever had was when Cree Summer lended her voice to the role in the She-Hulk cartoon animated series, which is kind of what I was hoping for, because that She-Hulk was round.
Yeah. I kind of
All lean and evergreen, motherfucker.
I liked the way that the show kind of introduced her relationship with Bruce, her cousin.
so, just cousin bond. Like, I mean, if you got cousins, then you probably have a relationship like this with at least one cousin. You get along, but you tease the fucking hell out of each other. I do that with my East Coast cousins all the time. I remember once, one of my cousins he was an East Coast cousin because he's from Massachusetts, but he moved out here recently with his family. Him and I got into a fight, like a battle of words over Mortal Kombat, because I was, I was like, all high and mighty because I'm a Mortal Kombat, and he's like, I'm gonna kick your ass. And we just started like going off on each other. It was fun.
Yeah. So the first episode shows it's funny because it starts off about her getting ready to go into a case, and then she breaks the fourth wall and was like, "Yeah, hi, Jennifer Walters, and you heard that right. I'm a Hulk, and I have a feeling you're not going to be able to focus on the show until you learn about that. So let's go back." And so she tells a story about how she was visiting Bruce, who at this point was just still dealing with everything that happened after Endgame, and he was basically explaining everything. And they're chatting in the car, whatever. They're eating Cheetos with chopsticks. Her idea.
So they don't get Cheeto fingers.
And whilst they're talking about the possible virginity of Steve Rogers, odd topic, a Sicarian ship comes out of nowhere and causes them to swerve off of the hill and crash, leaving
pretty
both
badly.
Yeah, leaving both injured. Jen's got a terrible cut on her arm. Bruce is bleeding, and his blood gets into her wound. And yeah, in the comics it was a transfusion. In this, it's literal blood.
Yeah,
it's like almost how blood oaths are made.
Yeah, I didn't like that. But Marvel movies, liberties, whatever.
Yeah, and
I kind of like the fact that like she got shot. He was the only donor around. I don't know. I just like that angle. Personally.
And then she runs off, goes Lord knows where, finds herself in like a bar. I actually really like this. She was kind of like all beat up and everything. It looked like she was like abused, and then these women come in like, "Girl, who did this to you? Whoever did this to you, they do not deserve you.
Yeah.
You don't need him or her or them, whatever. We don't judge." So they help her out. Like, "Can I borrow somebody's phone?" And they're all like, "Oh sure, yeah." They're handing her phone.
Oh sure, baby.
I love that. And of course, there are these dudes who are catcalling her, and of course she responds in kind.
By hulking out and scaring the crap out of him.
Thankfully, Bruce is there to stop her from going crazy, and takes her back to his secluded island somewhere.
Wasting away here in Margaritaville.
Basically, he was analyzing her blood and figured out that she can now Hulk out just like he can. And apparently they have some sort of blood abnormality that allows them to concentrate gamma radiation. And apparently, he was able to use her blood sample to heal his arm completely, and she's like, "So I'm better than you?" I think the word's different, but in a better way, right?
Again, they're cousins. They kind of rag on each other.
Yeah, and I love that she's like, "I've never seen you in this form before." Yeah, this is my Smart Hulk form. That's a dumb name. I didn't come up with it. You endorse it. Don't lawyer me.
I was a different person back then. Ha ha.
No, yeah, they literally addressed that. That was so. I can't believe they did that. And so, like, Hulk, or Bruce, I guess, is like trying to tell her that, okay, you're gonna have to like learn how to control this. I'm gonna have to teach you everything I know and everything I picked up on how to be a Hulk. Which, yes, this falls under the category of mansplaining. And you know, Bruce is right and wrong here. He's right because, like, she doesn't realize yet what this is going to end up doing to her, but she will figure out. But he's also wrong because he doesn't realize that she can control her anger wildly better than he can.
Also, unlike with him, where there's two separate, well, technically speaking, comic-wise, there's more than two entities in Bruce's head. Yes, but in the there's MCU, no other person. There is no other personality. It's all Jen, all 100%.
Yeah, because Bruce often referred to Hulk as the other guy because it was like a separate entity. Hulk and Bruce used to be two separate people, and now they're one. But
kind of like a Jekyll and the Hyde thing.
Yeah, exactly. But with Jen, it's just Jen. And I love that, like, because she busted out of that thing, and he's like, "Ooh, easy, girl, easy. Why are you talking to me like I'm an out of control horse?" Wait, Jen? Yeah. Wait, you don't have another guy in there? No. Wow, is this jealousy I'm feeling right now? I've never seen Bruce Banner get jealous.
Yeah.
And,
well, I mean, he's already green, so...
Yeah, green with envy. Also, can we just address the fact that Hulk said, bruh?
Bruh.
Bruh. It's like Hulk said, bruh. So he's showing her how to, like, meditate, throw rocks, things like that, and she's infinitely better than
Namaste all day.
Yeah, namaste all day. Relax your shoulders if that helps. Hold in your farts. Namaste all day. And she's like very much better at all this stuff than he is, and she doesn't really need this training whole montage, you know. And she just wants to go back to being a lawyer, and he's telling her that like it's not going to be that simple, and he's right, it won't be, but she doesn't want to hear it. And they actually get into a fight, like a Hulk on Hulk fight. And it's interesting because they brought back the Hulk clap thing. And then she did it repeatedly right back to him. I'm like, whoa! I didn't know you could do that in succession. And they end up busting up that bar that Tony helped Bruce build. He's like, my bar! Sorry. You're fixing it! And he's like, if you want to go back to... What?
I don't know exactly when this was, but there's a point where he pushed her off a cliff, and she just flips him off.
Yeah. Dick move! He's like, if you want to go back to your life as a lawyer, I respect that. And she looks at the camera. He doesn't mean that. And so she does eventually go back, and then we catch up with her in real time where she's going into her case, and she's just being normal Jen. And all of a sudden, this crazy lady named Titania comes in for some reason.
She's not even a villain. She's not even a villain. She's like a social media influencer who just happens to have superpowers.
Yeah, and she just comes in out of nowhere. Jen has to, like, you know, She-Hulk and, like, you know, basically protect the court from her because she's being crazy. Mm-hmm. And, so now she outed herself as a Hulk, and so now everybody knows.
Which kind of gets... Isn't that where, like, the first episode ends?
Yeah. And, like, the second episode picks up with her getting fired from her normal law firm, and then end up getting picked up.
The rival company that Titania was... The
person that Jen was opposing against in that case.
Yeah. That company wanted to hire her for their part of their superhero law division. And when I heard that, I was like, ooh, Daredevil maybe?
Yeah. I thought, like, that's interesting. That's to give superhumans a law division. I guess they would need it.
Yeah.
And of course, the first case she gets put on is the release of Emil Blonsky, and we all know that name from the Incredible Hulk movie with Ed Norton.
Which didn't do very well, but it's still technically canon to the MCU, so it works.
Yes, and I can't speak for Noah, but me personally, I didn't mind that movie. I actually thought it was okay. Yeah. But, yeah, we haven't seen Emil Blonsky since then. No mention of him. We haven't seen him, heard anything of Abomination. So,
And what's interesting is, finally, this Abomination is comic accurate, which I was not expecting.
As far as looks, yeah. I gotta be honest, I was kind of thrown off by how chill he was. Because he's like writing haikus. He's got, like, these women who are, like, his, like, partners.
Seven
and, like,
soulmates.
Yeah.
All he wants is to be free so he can run his spa retreat.
You're probably gonna disagree with me hard about this, Noah. But he reminds me of the 10th Doctor.
Oh, how dare you! How dare you, sir!
Like, I could easily picture David Tennant saying all of the shit he said. All of it.
Well, sure,
like,
but...
I thought it was gonna be Captain Bloody America! I don't know.
Sure, David Tennant, but not the 10th Doctor.
Who played the 10th Doctor?
David Tennant, yeah, but you can't say that he reminds you of the 10th Doctor when...
No, I mean, when I said I can picture David Tennant saying that, I meant saying it as... I can't do his accent. I can't do a British accent, so I had to do that. But, like, I meant, like, as the 10th Doctor. But that's just a me thing. I knew you weren't going to agree with that. But, like,
nah.
The point is that Emil is rehabilitated, I guess is the right word.
Yeah, that's the right word.
So... she takes the case. She's kind of nervous about what Bruce will think, but Bruce is like, "Oh, that's water under the bridge." He wrote me a nice haiku.
Yeah.
And like, it was a different person back then, literally. And she looks at the camera and goes, "Ha ha,
ha ha,"
which is directly referencing the fact that at that time Bruce was played by Ed Norton. It's like, wow, okay. And then right after that, it shows Bruce on that Sakarian ship going Lord knows where, and we don't hear about that for a good while. And then news breaks out that Emil was out of his cell, and that episode ends with Jen going, "This sucks."
Oh, that sucks. Oh, that sucks.
And so she
Turns
goes
out who busted him out of prison?
Wong. I was like, dadgummit Wong.
And you get on Stephen's case for ruining the multiverse.
You're being just as bad, man. And so she has to, like, bring Wong along.
Talk to Wong.
Yeah, to talk to him, like, bring him along to testify that Emil was adamant that he be returned to his cell. He wanted to come back and continue his sentence.
And serve his sentence so that he could be free and run his spa retreat.
Yes, and it was at this point that I was going, wait a minute, okay, look. I get that he is rehabilitated, that stuff, but you're telling me he wanted to come back? He had a way out and he wanted to come back? Something's telling me he's making this crap up. I thought Emil was, like, playing the bullshit card here. But it seems that he was being sincere, and under the condition that he never transformed into Abomination again, he was released. And he was free to wear his Crocs in peace. Crocs. What happened after that? Oh yeah, Jen started.
I fucking hate it.
Oh wait, episode 3. That was the one where that guy. There was that Asgardian creature that was posing as Megan Thee Stallion. And
yep.
That episode ends. Oh my gosh, with Jen and Megan Thee Stallion in her office twerking.
Which personally, as a good Christian man, no bueno.
Yeah, I felt kind of uncomfortable. And I like this Jen, like, in that way, too. Mind you, fans, I mean Jen, not She-Hulk.
Yeah. Which is important, but we'll tell you why in a minute.
Yeah. But, like, the only reason I brought that up is because of that funny line where Megan Thee Stallion's like, "Man, I wish all my lawyers were as fun as you." And Jen goes, "I would kill for you, Megan Thee Stallion." She goes, dial it back.
Dial it back.
After that, what happens after that? Was the one where yeah. That was the one where Jen or Nikki got Jen on that dating app and like wasn't getting any responses as Jen, so she decided to be She-Hulk.
She-Hulk, and
yeah,
Lordy
she got responses, but good lord, they were either creepy or scummy.
Yeah.
There was that dude with the fetish.
That one
Todd.
dude, Todd. Oh god, it's like he's the kind of guy that I honestly think that people see men as these days. Like,
yeah, unfortunately.
All guys,
or that other guy that actually ended up going home with Jen.
Yeah, who only liked her for She-Hulk.
Yeah, and also during that whole episode, there's a guy who used to be at Comertage who's using magic, but in the now, his name, I'm not kidding, is Donnie Blaze. Really, Marvel? Really, Marvel?
Like seriously, if you have Ghost Rider come in and be like, have Ghost Rider come and be like, Jennifer Walters, I want you to represent me. This man stole the name of my host, Johnny Blaze. Something like that.
I want to see him in full Ghost Rider form, like the flaming skull and everything, walk into her office and go, Jennifer Walters, I need you to represent me. Yeah. There is nothing funnier that could happen than that.
The Ghost Rider. Hang on, no, actually, no. I'll do the Ghost Rider voice that I like. The Ghost Rider has been wrongly accused. The damned soul has made a mockery of the profession of Johnny Blaze. I require your assistance, representation in a lawful manner, something like that. But who would? Okay, because I don't like Nick Cage as Ghost Rider. Because I don't like Nick Cage. I could see Keanu in the role or Norman Reedus for Johnny Blaze or Danny Cage. Or Danny Cage, one of the two.
Dude, that's genius. Norman Reedus. I didn't think of that. I
didn't make those up. I saw those. Like people.
I know. I'm just saying, like that's
Ghost Rider.
That's genius, Norman Reedus.
I mean, personally, my favorite Ghost Rider is Robbie Reyes, but he already had his moment in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so he's already canon to the MCU.
Yeah.
I've had my fill.
After that, episode 5... Oh, yeah, episode 5 is when Titania starts using She-Hulk as for her product, and she's allowed to because Jen never copyrighted the name. And she's like, I didn't know that was a thing. Does Thor do that? Does Doctor Strange do that? You pick 2 examples of people who use their actual name. Oh.
That is true.
Yeah.
But that also raises an interesting point for not all superheroes, obviously. Like you can't say that about the Green Lantern because Green Lantern is their job. They are members of the Green Lantern Corps.
Well, yeah, but that and also the Corps does not originate from Earth, so it's out of their jurisdiction. So
that's true.
It's not like the U.S. government can't throw the book at say Hal Jordan because he operates outside of Earth as well.
True.
But, in Jen's case, she's an American lawyer going by the American law.
Yep.
But, yeah, they got that cleared up because she did end up using her... Because she needed to prove that she used She-Hulk in her daily life, which, as a lawyer, she didn't because she didn't like being referred to as She-Hulk. But she did use it on the dating app, and they had all those guys come in as witnesses, which that was
poor woman.
I got secondhand embarrassment from that. Poor Jen.
Yeah, I did too. I felt so bad for her.
And also during an episode, her friend Nikki and that guy Pug go to this guy who apparently makes all of the superheroes' clothing. I don't know his name. I don't care about his name.
That dude, it's
he looks too much like Jaleel White for me to take him seriously. Let's just call him Urkel Clone number 5.
Yeah. Also, and I feel like the fact he was obviously gay. Like you could totally tell he was like flaming homo.
Yeah, dude, my gaydar was going crazy.
I just feel like that's kind of a negative stereotype for fashion designers. Not every fashion designer is a flaming gay man.
Well, no, but most of them are assholes like this guy was.
Because he had that vibe, that whole you're wasting my valuable time.
Yeah, you know who he reminded me of? I don't remember her name, but he reminded me of Meryl Streep's character from The Devil Wears Prada, like almost exactly.
I have never seen that, but I've seen like
the Chicken Bros fans will know what I'm talking about.
Will they?
I don't know, like all 9 of them, sure.
We have 22 subscribers now. Thank you.
I don't. Okay, whatever. But anyway.
By the way, that reminds me. One of my friends on TikTok. If you see this, you know who you are. Thank you for subscribing recently. That means a lot.
It does mean a lot. Thank you very much. So that guy makes Jen a normal lawyer suit that can, cater to her power.
Because she needs to because she needs to stretch and be able, but then at the same time be able to retain the suit that she wears when she reverts back to Jen.
Right, and he also made her a super suit, which we don't see for a while, but we know it's the classic purple, black, and white one.
Ollie, where's my super suit?
And there's another, like, he's like, does customer confidentiality mean nothing to you? And we see this yellow helmet with horns. And we're like, oh my gosh, it's Daredevil.
Not just that, but it's that's like classic Daredevil. Like that's like first appearance 1960s Daredevil. That's just, I love that.
And then the next episode.
Thank you for bringing that back.
And the next episode takes a weird turn. Jen supposed to be a bridesmaid at her old friend's wedding, I guess.
I honestly skipped most of that episode because I was just like, oh, this is so boring.
Well, I mean, I was watching it because it was just Jen.
Yeah,
it literally opened with that. The title card said just Jen.
Just Jen, yeah.
The way this show breaks the fourth wall is hilarious. I can't wait for her and Deadpool to go at it.
No, she's got like so much over Deadpool, and we'll get to that when we get to the last episode.
Yeah. So this episode's not really consequential. There's two things we got to mention. One, Titania is being a bitch, and Jen kicks her ass.
Yeah, we're living my teeth or something like that.
And then at the wedding, Jen meets this guy named Josh who seems all nice and like talking to her like one would expect a real gentleman to talk to a woman.
Yeah.
And they hit it off, and she's a little bubbly drunk, but that happens from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
And then episode 7 is...
Wait, the after credit scene shows that Josh wasn't the guy we thought he was.
That's episode 7.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, I'm getting to that.
Well, yeah.
So episode 7 opens with them going out several times, and then the final time, technically the final time, they go back into the bedroom and, do stuff,
Bow, chicka, bow, wow.
Yeah. And then after that, she gets no text from the guy.
Yeah.
And so her law firm asked her to go to... Yeah, because Emil's thing went off for some reason. And so she went to go to make sure everything was all on the up and up. And while she's there, her car gets totaled. Thanks, man bull.
I no te matador.
And so she's there for a while, waiting for this text from Josh is not coming. And so while she's there, she attends, I guess, one of Emil's group
seminars.
Chats. Yeah, seminars.
Group seminars with Emil, this man bull. I can't remember what his name was, but he was basically a matador. But he kept saying, "I'm not a matador." That's a stereotype.
Basically, what they tell her is that they're basically giving her that pep talk about how if he can't like you as Jen, then that he doesn't deserve you, which is
true.
And she finds the courage to block the number and forget about Josh. And her car gets fixed. She goes home, and then the episode cuts back to the night where they turns out Josh was cloning her phone, and he works for this guy called Hulk King, who runs this website called Intelligentsia, who's basically Reddit shit talking on She-Hulk. I like how that show mimicked real life, because that was actually happening. People on Reddit were complaining about this show. And then the show was like, yeah, hold a mirror up to you, dipshits.
Yeah.
Weird how that works.
But in a sneaky way that the dummies wouldn't be able to catch up or pick up on.
Yeah. At least not to the last episode, I don't think. Then episode 8 was, what was that? The frog dude.
Yeah, that dumbass.
Yeah, so he apparently had rocket boots in his suit that malfunctioned and ruined him and got him 30-degree burns. And the guy who made her suit made his, and he wanted to sue, but she was conflicted because he makes her suit.
Yeah, because he made me a suit. I don't want to do it, but her law firm made her. She goes to talk to the guys. So you may have had a misfunction. I do not have a malfunction. My stuff does not fail. You are blacklisted.
Yeah. So they go to court, and it turns out his lawyer is
Matt Murdock. Ooh.
Yeah, and I loved that scene where both he and her went back and forth about like lawyer talk. Like, I love that. That was so good. And then, thanks to his enhanced senses, he smells something odd. He's like, I don't know what he used. It said gasoline he used in that stuff.
No, I think he's like jetpack fuel.
Jet fuel. That's what it was. Yeah, and you know, the designer said, "You're not supposed to use that stuff. You didn't read the instructions, did you?" Turns out, I think it's Leapfrog. He was being stupid. So, and you know, he didn't tell Jen, of course. So
Case gets thrown out.
They ruled in favor of Matt. And yeah.
Of course, the guy is the designer is pissed that Jen went against him like that. So he's like, "You're not getting your shit no more."
Yeah. And Jen and Matt have a nice talk at the bar about, you know, just stuff. And they really hit it off, like, really well. And
I'm surprised they hit it off so well. It's like that's an extra power of She-Hulk. She can get any man into bed she wants.
Of course, she wasn't She-Hulk when that happened. She was Jen.
True.
But after that, who was it? I think it was the Leapfrog guy where he was being... he was being chased. Yeah, it was being chased. And he asked Jen to help him out. And so she went after him, and turned out he was being chased by the Daredevil. And so She-Hulk and Daredevil get into a fight, and I actually thought this
She immediately unmasks him.
Well, this is the thing. She Hulk clapped, and that stopped his hearing, which he kind of needs.
Right.
So then she unmasked him and realized it was Matt, and I love that when they were fighting, she's like, "I'm going to whoop your ass," and he's like, "My ass remains unwhooped."
Remains unwhooped. That's like such a Spider-Man line that I'm surprised that Daredevil said it.
Maybe he's been hanging around Spider-Man.
Well, that would make sense. They do kind of hang out sometimes.
Yeah.
I have a comic where they do that.
Yeah, and besides, who knows what's been going on since No Way Home?
True. He is a really good lawyer.
But turns out Leapfrog kidnapped the designer, and that's why Daredevil was going after him. So they go after him together, take him down, rescue the designer. The designer's like, "Fine, I'll finish your gala dress or whatever." And then, after a little pep talk, or like just a little chat, Jen and Matt, no pun intended, smashed.
Yep.
I like how it cuts to the next morning, and he's doing the walk of shame in the Daredevil suit.
It ain't a walk of shame. It's a walk of pride at that point. He bagged the She-Hulk. That's a walk of pride right there.
And then it cuts to Jen and Nikki are getting ready for this gala party, and Jen again breaks the fourth wall, going, "Wait, the next episode's the finale. But wait, is this going to be kind of finale where there's another Hulk but he's red, or am I going to get fridged?" And then they're at the gala. I think what did she like? Win an award like Attorney of the Year or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
And she was accepting it, and then somebody hacks the screens. It's like Hulk King showing all this footage of her in bed.
Yeah.
Like,
she doesn't have this power, although she's a slut.
Yeah, they start showing all this stuff, and her parents are there seeing all this, and you know she gets mad, and she Hulk.
Rages out.
Yeah, she's already in Hulk form, but she gets mad and tears apart the screen, and
like,
she gets
full
cornered.
on, like Hulk smash rage mode. Like, I didn't even know what Jen could do.
I had a feeling she could do it. I just think she chose not to. So that happens, and then in the last episode, she gets fired, blacklisted.
It gets. Oh, by the way, it opens like the old 1960s TV show.
Oh yeah, it does, which was interesting, but also kind of weird.
Yeah, but it was a funny reference. I was half expecting at some point for her to be going. Dee, 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 dee.
I was listening for that during the sad moments, but she basically gets fired. She can't live in her own home now. She's back in with her parents. And her and Nikki are trying to figure out what the whole intelligentsia thing is. And she goes to a meal because she just needs to cool out and relax.
Yep.
And Nikki and Pug try to go undercover at this intelligentsia event. And they find out that dude, that creepy guy, Todd, is Hulk King. He's been the asshole pulling the strings the whole time.
Yep.
And then Jen happens to walk in at the same time, and then also Emil's there, but as Abomination. And then and then Titania shows up out of nowhere. Then Bruce shows up out of nowhere. And then Jen's like, wait, this is too messy. This is not how this episode is going. I didn't want this. She looks at the camera. Did you want this? And then this is what is hilarious. I thought Disney Plus broke for a second because it like goes back to the homepage, and I'm like, wait, what? And then you see Jen bust out. I'm like, oh, this is just another fourth wall break. What are you doing, Jen?
That wasn't a fourth wall break. That was a fourth wall obliteration. Deadpool, take fucking notes, bro.
And then she goes into the little mini-series called Making of Assembled, which is this thing Marvel does where they show you how they make certain projects. They have different episodes for different movies, shows, yada, yada, yada. She goes into that, finds the writer room for her own show, and was like, I want to talk to whoever's in charge. And like, you can't talk to Kevin.
I want to talk to Kevin.
Like, you can't talk to Kevin. He has a higher understanding of everything. And
something that was weird, I don't know if you caught this, because I don't know if you watch it with subtitles like I do.
I do.
But whenever the writers say Kevin, it's like an acronym. Yeah. It's not the name Kevin.
Yeah. That's the thing, though, is that, like, they named the okay, so she goes to this room, and Kevin is a robot.
An algorithm, basically. Yeah. Everything's a fucking algorithm nowadays.
Yes. Now, I want to know if you notice this, because in case anybody's watching doesn't know this, Kevin is a reference to Kevin Feige, who's the president of Marvel Studios. And Noah, did you notice that the robot's, I don't want to say face because it didn't have a face, but the front view, the top bit looked like a hat, which Kevin Feige routinely wears?
That's exactly what I thought.
Yes! Yeah. Also, I noticed this little Easter egg where Kevin told Jen to revert back to Jen, because she was She-Hulk at this point. Like, you cost a lot of money, and also our VFX team is working on a different project, and then you hear Wakandan music. And so she's back to Jen, and then she's basically telling Kevin that her finale got way too ridiculous, and she's trying to tell him how to clean it up. Bring in Matt Murdock. I wouldn't mind seeing him again. And she starts asking all these intrusive questions, like, when are we getting X-Men? She looks at the camera, like, does the thumbs up.
I can't tell you that yet.
She's like, I'm a Hulk. That's what we do. Bruce smashes buildings. I smash fourth walls, and sometimes Matt Murdock.
Matt Murdock. Hey.
And then, like, when she leaves, Kevin goes, and Jen, see you on the big screen. She goes, really? No. Oh, whatever, Kevin. So she goes back to her show, and it's like a picnic, kind of like Todd gets arrested. Daredevil literally shows up out of nowhere. Like, he just like jumps from the sky.
Yeah. Hey. Oh, well, hey, you missed it. I did? Aw.
Dang it. But they go to this like little family picnic, and Bruce kind of shows up out of nowhere, but at least it's like organic this time. Now, this threw me for a loop. I actually had to look this up after it happened. He's like, I've been away. I'm sure you want to.
Son.
Yeah, this is my son. I'm like, excuse me. What do you mean, son? Son from who? I had to look that up. Apparently, that's comic accurate. I did not know Bruce Banner had a son.
I know. I mean, basically, the guy's name is Scar. I'm thinking it's like a Planet Hulk reference.
It is.
I only saw.
I had to look that up to see because, like, I was like, that came way out of nowhere for me, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, it did. I agree.
And so
we're gonna need a movie to explain this, guys.
There's gonna be a movie to explain it. I'm assuming there has to be, right? But Jen gets her normal job back, being the She-Hulk
superpowered lawyer. She's awesome.
And yeah, that's basically where the show ended.
Yep. As She-Hulk or as Jennifer Walters? Both.
Yeah, like we said, the show's all right.
Decent.
Yeah. This is the thing. It's not, like, horrible, but, like, it's definitely an acquired taste. Like, it's a different kind of... Because the thing is that people are going like, oh, Marvel Studios never did this. It's like, well, Marvel Studios never had to focus on this kind of lifestyle. You gotta remember, the world is diverse. There's different cultures and different things and different kinds of people. And Jen is just one of those people that happens to be caught in the middle of it. Yep. So it makes sense that it's different. In fact, honestly, I'm glad that it's different because too much of the same thing can get a little tiresome sometimes.
Yep.
And, you know, if you think about it, Noah, this is a superhero TV show, but she does very little superheroing.
Yeah,
because she is still
kind
a
of my
lawyer.
problem with the. That is true.
But yeah, I liked it for what it was, which was a simple. Okay, not simple, but it was a lawyer show.
Yeah.
And yeah, Chicken Bros fans, I'm not gonna beat around the bush. I personally think that Jennifer Walters, is beautiful. Beautiful, not bootiful. That you know what I'm saying.
She's
pretty.
Yeah, he likes the actress too. So.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing is like I don't really know the actress that much, but like Jennifer Walters.
No, but
like okay, this version of Jennifer Walters, I should say, because I didn't watch the '90s Hulk series like Noah did, so I don't know that one all that well, and I've read very few comics.
It's on Disney Plus, so if you want to watch it, you can.
True.
I honestly, I mainly watch it because it has the Grey Hulk in it, and I like the Grey Hulk over the Green Hulk. Sorry, fans, but it's true.
Yeah. But yeah, good show. What would you rate it, Noah?
I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10.
I'll give it 7.5. 0.5's for Jen. And we'll see you next time.